Hello everyone, this is Robyn with mypinkstamper.com and welcome to my video today. I am going to be sharing a project made from the new Stampin Up Occasions 2017 catalog. So I'm going to be sharing with you, I'm going to show you if you have the catalog, you can turn to it with me. If you don't have the catalog, I have the PDF link version on mypinkstamper.com. And you can look as well with me. Okay, this is on page 29. I'm using the Lucky Elephant stamp set. I love this stamp set. If you guys missed this somehow when you were quickly going through the catalog and picking out your favorites, you're sure to find this is going to be one of your favorites coming soon. Okay, so I'm using the Lucky Elephant, and I'm also using it with, I wanted to do something a little not so pink and sparkly like I normally do. So I'm using the Urban Underground Specialty Designer Series paper with it, along with the Urban Underground Designer Series washi tape. So I'm really excited. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it and get started. I am going to show you how to emboss with any color ink pad that you have. If you own all of our Stampin' Up classic stamping pads, and you have a Versamark, you can emboss with any color that you have. All you need is some clear embossing powder, and you need the heat tool. Okay, so we will go ahead and let's see, what am I gonna do first? Okay, let's just go ahead and emboss first. That sounds like something fun we can do. So what you're going to need is the Delightful Dijon classic ink pad and the Versamark ink pad. You'll need clear embossing powder, and what I do is I take the little containers we get from Stampin' Up and I just put them in just a little Tupperware container. Makes it easier to put it back in there. Here is the washi tape, but we'll use it later. Okay, I don't need that just yet. I don't need this paper yet. The only one I'm using for the embossing that you need to see right now is the very vanilla cardstock. I'm going to use our Stampin Trimmer, and I'm going to cut a piece that is 3 1/2 by 3 3/4. I'm going to set this aside for now. You will need a background piece of paper when you're embossing, and this is one of our grid papers. These are in the catalog. They're $11 for a big stack of 100. They have the grid on them with the rulers, and I love them. They're great. Okay. All right, I'm going to take my elephant, and I was already using it, so I'm going to show you how to quickly clean off your stamps if you don't know already. This is our Stampin Scrub, and this is our Stampin Mist. They are a necessity when you're stamping and scrapbooking. You're going to definitely want one of these. You spray one side, it's wet. I just clean off my stamp, and then one side is dry, and I clean it off, and there we go. And then I just put this away. I clean it off probably every 2 weeks. I need to probably clean it up a little bit more often, but I forget. All right, so I'm going to take my Versamark first. Have everything ready. Have your powder open and ready to go. If you want to run your Stampin Buddy across, this will help so there's not a lot of static or sticking. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. Let me get my Delightful Dijon ink pad ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is nice and inky. This is a Versamark watermark ink pad. So it'll also give you just the watermark. You don't always have to emboss with it, but it stays sticky and wet just a little bit longer. So you're going to put this on your stamp first, then you're just going to, and I just re-inked my Delightful Dijon, so it's pretty inky. I think it's pretty inky, but it's going to make the look jump out a little bit more. So I'm going to just ink that here. Look at, I have that. And do you see the variation in color? Because I did just ink it up. So I love that. I'm just going to quickly put my clear embossing powder over it. And I have it like that. So excited. Did you know you could do that? You can do that with any of our ink pads. You'll want to make sure that you just clean off your stamp after. You don't want to forget and accidentally stamp it into something else, just like you would normally do with a dirty ink pad or ink stamp. I'm having trouble speaking today. All right, so now I'm going to take our Stampin' tool, heat tool, and we have the two settings. There's the one if you're just, you know, trying to heat something and help it to dry, and you're going to want to put it on 2, and that will be hot enough to melt. And I just kind of put it in on one place, and then I watch it. Can you guys see it? It is so neat. When it melts, you can just tell. It changes the consistency. It gives you texture. And it looks like something you would have maybe had professionally made. That's why embossing is so fabulous. It helps you just take your step up your projects just a little bit and really impress your friends. Okay, so you guys see that? See it zoomed in a little bit? Do you see the texture on it? Isn't that wonderful? I cannot wait to see what you guys create with this technique. All right, now I'm going to take, I have half of a piece of our Going Gray cardstock. It's cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm just going to fold it in half using our bone folder. Okay. Now I'm going to take some of the Urban Underground, is that right, paper, and I'm going to cut it for my back layer. I have this paper here. They're two-sided, so you can kind of decide what colors you want to use, but I really like this pattern, so I'm cutting it at 5 1/4. And save your little scraps. And I'm going to cut this side at 4 inches. And then this piece here, I'm going to cut one at just 1 inch. No, I'll do 1 1/4. So let me see here. I'm going to do 1 1/4. Is that right? Yep, 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that's all we need the paper trimmer for. Now we can start putting this together. So I'm going to take my little piece here. I'm using our Snail Adhesive. I'm going to just add some on here. And I want this to be just in the middle right here. The middle down a little bit. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on there. And in the catalog, it tells you the colors that they're using in the designer series paper. And that way you can pull them out, like the Going Gray cardstock. That was one of the colors in the color palette. So I pulled it out. The same thing with the Delightful Dijon. Okay, now I'm going to take my basic gray ink pad. And I'm going to stamp Good Luck. That was also in that stamp set. So Good Luck with my Going Gray, and it will lighten up a little bit as it kind of absorbs into the paper. Now I'm going to take some of this washi. This is the Urban Underground washi, or is it District? I get them so confused. I will have it on the screen for you. I'm going to take a little bit, just kind of put it on the side, put it on here, and kind of flip it over. Just tear it off. That's why I like washi. You can just tear it off. It's so easy. You can use it for just anything practically. You don't want someone to steal your pen at work? Put some washi on it. There's so many ways. You can also put washi on your iPhone chargers or your cell phone chargers, so you know if somebody's trying to take them from you. Okay, so now on this one you could use, actually let's go ahead and use our foam strips. I was going to use dimensionals, but foam strips work I think a little bit better for this. So we'll decide how big we want them. And let me cut them down a little bit. I'm just going to do a quick job. Okay. And the reason I'm using the strips instead of the dimensionals is it's a little bit, when you emboss, it kind of makes the paper a little bit warped a little bit just from the heat on the paper. And so this will help it lie down a little bit straighter. Where was I? Where was I? Right here. Okay. Got to make sure that I go all the way to the end on this one. Don't you love it when I kind of mess up a little bit? I know you all do. But ta-da! I fixed it. I can do that. And then I'm just going to kind of go across here. And I'll do shorter ones over here and here. That's a lot of strips, but it's going to make it look nice and solid and secure. Okay, so now with the strips, you can use the strips, the foam strips for shaker cards. That's actually what they designed them for in the catalog. And just peel the backs off. Oops. It's sticking a little bit on my fingers today. Okay. And now we're going to stick this on here, and I wanted it to kind of be off to the left a little bit and down a little bit. So there is my thank you card using Lucky Elephant, and here's one that I made earlier. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. You can check out more projects at mypinkstamper.com, and if you like what you saw here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.